So here's what I picked up for my truck this week. Got a Dee-Zee Tailgate Assist. It's a little gas piston that helps keep the tailgate from free falling when you open it. The tailgate on that Super Duty with that step in it is very, very heavy. And I do have little youngins running around here. And I do worry about the possibility of dropping the tailgate on one of them's head. So we're going to put this on. Here's what comes in the package. You get a nutsert. Basically, it's like a expanding wall anchor. This goes into the edge of the tailgate, and then the ball screws into that. You've got the ball that fixes to the side of the inside of the bed. The screw that the cable attaches to on the side of the bed goes through this hole. We've got a T50 Torx wrench that comes with it. We've got some thread locker and the gas piston. And to put this in, we also need a metric Allen wrench, a few metric wrenches, and a ruler. Because the first step, oh, by the way, it also came with pretty good instructions, illustrated instructions. So you can see the first step is to adjust the nutsert so that from the top of the washer to the head of the top of the head of the bolt's 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and I've already done that. So 3/4 of an inch. So that's ready. Now just step outside and get this thing installed. Okay, so here's the problem we're trying to solve. That's a heavy tailgate, and it comes down hard if you let it go. So, get my instructions out here. And I've already adjusted my nutsert. So the first step is to install the nutsert into this hole. And the way that works is you hold the nutsert, the bolt part, with an Allen wrench, and then you have to turn this nut, what does it say, 9 360-degree turns. So I've got a mark scratched on my nut there, so I'll be able to tell when I've turned it 9 times. And what it does is it pulls this in and expands here and locks it into that hole. Okay, so let me get that done. Okay, so that was a little more difficult than it should have been. The problem I had was you're supposed to hold this screw, tighten this nut, and there's this little ball bearing set here with these 2 washers. The nut is supposed to be able to turn the outer washer with the ball bearings on the inner washer so the inner washer doesn't move. But the problem is that didn't work. And as I was tightening the nut, it started screwing, turning the whole assembly, and it was screwing the insert off of the bolt. So the bolt actually came out. So I had to screw it back in there, hold it kind of cockeyed in the hole to put some pressure on the nutsert, and then I just tightened the crap out of the nut. And I didn't tighten it too tight. I tightened it enough that the nutsert itself would not move, because that hole's kind of elongated. It's not round. but I tightened it in tight enough that the nutsert wouldn't move. I didn't want to tighten it too tight. You can kind of see in there how the nutsert has collapsed. The inside of it has collapsed. You can see where the threads start in there. So it's expanded and it's squeezing from the inside and holding that nutsert in there. But I didn't want to strip those threads because you screw the ball mount into those threads here in just a minute. So let's see what the instructions say next. Apply thread lock to the threads of the ball mount. Install the ball mount into the nutsert using a 16mm wrench and torque to 12 foot-pounds. To me, that means put the thread locker on it, screw it in there, and tighten it up. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so thread locker. That's doing squeeze that nutsert a little bit more. A little bit more. That's probably tight enough, and with the thread locker it's not going anywhere. Okay. Next step. Okay, use the T50 Torx to remove the cable bolt, which is right there. Okay, so the the tailgate bolt's out. And they say take the ball mount plate, that bolt goes back through it, and then reinstall. Okay, so the instructions here are a little bit out of order because it says to install the large part of the shock to the ball mount we just put back, and the small end, the rod end, to the ball in the tailgate. But first, and even though it's out of order, we have to take the tail light out because this rubber bumper is going to be in the way, so it has to be removed. And there's two nuts on the inside. We have to take the tail light out to be able to access those nuts. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tail light out and take that bumper off. Okay, so there's those two nuts holding the bumper in place. So we'll get those off and get the bumper out and then put the tail light back. So we got the bumper off, we got the tail light back in. So I'm gonna pop the narrow end onto the ball mount here. Yep, I'm gonna need two hands to do this. So there it is. All I've got left to do is reattach the cable. All right. So let's see how this thing does. Alright, close tailgate. Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I like that. I think that's going to make this a lot safer with the kids running around, and yeah, that was pretty good. It doesn't make it really any, well, I don't know, maybe it does make it a little bit easier to lift. Nice. So, Dee-Zee Tailgate Assist. I recommend it. Didn't take long to put in, about a half an hour. And yeah, works good. Thanks for watching, guys.